Okay, so I don't have too much space here, so basically I'm going to be working off the floor. I don't advise that too much, like working off of your rug or anything. It's good to have a surface that's non-static when you're doing this type of stuff, because you don't want any static electricity, of course, interfering with what you're doing, because you can touch a component and cause a slight bit of shock that can destroy a component. So it's good to be careful where you work when you're building computers. Most technicians wear ground straps, and it kind of secures them from damaging components from, light shocks like static electricity. Alright, so on that note, let's just keep it moving and whatnot. I just want to give you some safety precautions because I don't want to seem like a total idiot that doesn't know what he's doing. But nevertheless, this is all basic also, so just follow my instructions. You shouldn't have too many problems. Alright, so as you see, this is a server tower that's pretty complete. It has drives in it and all of that. My assistant is very stationary, so I'm going to show you what it is. Basically all that stuff I'm going to rebuild, take it out, cut it. I got CPU, motherboard, and all that other great stuff in there. Hard drives and cards and so on. I'm going to take it all out. Now we're going to start right now because these videos are very short. And basically all I need is a Phillips head screwdriver to do the whole job. Okay? If you don't know how to open up the side of your case and be able to look at the components in your machine, then don't tamper around with your computer. Alright? All computer cases are different also. That's another reason why I can't give you a breakdown on the repairs of most computers, because everybody has a different case and different computer, okay? That's up to you to figure out how to get in your machine. Alright, so let's move on. And the first thing I would do is start to dismantle the machine, was make sure that everything was unplugged from the power supply here. Alright, so that means like CD-ROMs, hard drives, or any other components that have these white cables in it, in the back, with this long wire and these white connectors in it, I would want to unplug. Okay, so I make sure that all the stuff is unplugged. All the wires that I can possibly see that are plugged in, I want unplugged. Alright, then I'll move to the IDE cables inside of the case that are connected to the drives and whatnot. So I would take these off the floppy drives and the hard drives. Okay, then I would take the case out. Luckily I have a computer that allows you to take the case completely out with the hard drive in it. Now I can actually take this hard drive out if I want to exchange hard drives, which I'm more than likely going to do. Alright, but basically my whole slot comes out and I can take the drive out. Alright, so being that I know that, and I can get the space also that I want to actually take the computer apart, I have another one built like that here that holds the floppy drives, and I can actually take that one out also. That gives me space to work on the motherboard. So like I was saying again, all we need is a Phillips head screwdriver, but let's just take all the parts out down to the cables. Take all these cables out now, because you won't be needing them until you're rebuilding the machine. So don't rip them out, but take them out nice and gently and get the cables all out off the motherboard so that you can actually see it. Some cables may be connected to the fans in the casing also, so they connect off of the power supply's cables. So you disconnect those also off the power supply. Okay? Take the power supply cable. This is what this is, the main cable for the power supply, the ATX cable. Pull that off. Take that, shove it to the side for a minute. Okay. Now we want to get rid of all the network cards inside. I mean all the cards. They're network cards, sound card, and so on, modems. So we'll go with a Phillips head screwdriver, and then we'll just take all the cards out right away. And get them out the way. They also hold the motherboard in position. If you don't take these out, you won't get the motherboard out. Common sense. So you unscrew with a Phillips, there are pretty much a little Phillips head. You'll see it on the case. You can unscrew all the screws and take all the cards out. When you're doing the taking the card out part, you don't pull it straight up. You shake it from side to side a little bit to jar the card to make it come out. It's kind of hard sometimes to pull them straight out, so I tend to jiggle it from side to side a little bit and it'll come right out. Alright, no need for me to take the memory sticks and all that out, the fan and the CPU. I'm going to leave it all inside the machine. Alright, now there is some cables that you don't see right here. I'll see if I can show you. But these are the cables that connect to the case. And you need to connect these cables again later to the next motherboard. These cables right here connect to the case. That's your power and the whole 9 yards right there. So you will need to actually know where the pin settings are on the next motherboard to plug it into your case. We'll get on with that in the next segment. Alright, so let me see if I can put my camera, let me hand my camera back to my assistant. Okay, now we'll just take the motherboard out. See, now I just showed you those plugged in because I'm going to take them out because I need them off to take the motherboard out. Alright, so now after we've done that and taken all those off, there's screws in the motherboard too. They're Phillips head screws also. You just take your Phillips screwdriver and you actually just look on the board and you'll see Phillips head screws that you really need to just go after. Alright, so you take all of them out, as many as you see, all of them. You got to look for them, but they're usually from corner to corner, one in the center, a couple of them on the side, you know. So I have taken out, you have one in the center, one on each corner, and one dead center, you know, some in the center and some over here on the corners also. You got to take them all off. Alright. Some people that have new motherboards, they have other little notches underneath here where these screws go in that can be moved around because all motherboards aren't the same size. So you have these little studs that hold these screws in that you can adjust them around the way your motherboard's built. So say for instance you're taking out this board and your other motherboard's a slight bit different and the screws don't line up. Well, there's holes in the case where you can actually line them up so that you can screw in your new motherboard. That's why it's good to have a custom case, because custom cases allow you to do all this stuff. Not as though a factory case like a Dell or HP or anything of that nature, Sony's, you know, they're very hard to upgrade. Alright, so keep that in mind when you're building the computer. It's hard to take an old Dell or, you know, a company machine like that and customize it the way you want. It's best to start with a case from like a computer store. You know, nice little, you know, custom case. So now I took all the screws out and now I got the motherboard in my hand. Alright folks, so that's phase one of my video, so that, not phase one, but another phase of my video to show you how you got your machine right away. Now I just took out the motherboard, but I'm going to start the next segment on taking out the power supply and getting ready to install the next board. Alright YouTubers, thanks a lot for checking out my videos. See you.